Three, Coach.
Let's go here. I've got two spots where I can put two. Hey, yeah. Sorry if it looks like my hat. Three.
I mean, just make sure and comment on it. It doesn't have to be a comment.
Yep, thank you.
Set. How are you?
Fantastic.
We're getting close. We're far enough apart I can pull this down. You feel okay? Yeah. You know, the other one I had that pulled up, and even though it makes me look a lot better, right? Yes. It's hard to breathe. We got a couple more coming in, and we'll get started. Appreciate you putting up with going through these COVID protocols. Got to make sure, like we told the kids from day one, we got to make sure we do things the right way. We will be the standard how things are done dealing with this mess. Unfortunately, coming off this Christmas break, we have about 6 kids that are in quarantine right now that have already missed a couple preseason workouts. But I think the coaches are coming up here, so everybody must be almost in. So hey, again, welcome to the banquet, the awards ceremony. Doing the best we can. Like we said, we're going to try to make this a special night for our players. Even though we're dealing with this, I appreciate you putting up with it. I appreciate you working with us all season on these crazy protocols. But knock on wood, when you go back to the tracing and everything we did with our Google Sheet and stuff, not one single contact positive came from these kids being here at this school during football. And I think that's a huge credit to you and your kids. And again, I know I'm going to talk about these coaches in a minute, but I think you can see on Friday nights when you showed up at the game, especially during the stretch run, at the attention to detail our coaches did and our players staying spread out on the sidelines, coming to the sideline, putting masks on and doing all those things the right way. And I'm extremely proud of them for doing that. All right, getting started here with this banquet, kicking off. Again, some of you, I will say, I said this earlier in the year, it was awesome for those freshmen that we brought up, an experience for them. But as a coach, in my shoes, all the years, so this is year number 23. Yes, 23 as the head coach. In those 23 years, only one freshman had I ever brought up to the varsity level. One. So you can imagine my anxiety this year. So it was a little different than theirs. They were just excited to be there. I was on the other side of that excitement. It was called anxiety. So two-way street there. But again, just excited for those kids. And we're going to do these things right. But especially for this 36 of these guys and young ladies sitting down here that this will be the last one of these that they're coming to. We're going to make ding-dang straight, do it right for you. You understand? All right, so with that being said, we're going to start off saying a big thanks to you parents. Most of the groups in here, besides these freshmen, are able to drive to practice, but you parents, most of you that are freshmen and sophomores have to drive these young men up here. Some of you are already driving them up here already again for preseason, but the sacrifices that you make for them, during the good times and the bad. Because let's be honest, sports are just like football. Sometimes things are good, and sometimes things are bad. And the key is that you have that support system around you that are supporting you during the good times and not let you get to where your head gets too big and keeps you down and grounded. And then when things are bad, not letting you hit rock bottom and keeping your head up. So parents, you do a great job of that. And the coaches want to say thank you again for following these protocols and helping us all year with the bring your water bottles, the wear your mask, coming to the games and having to stay spread out. And then let's all be honest. Dealing with them tickets on game day, that was one of the biggest pains in my rear end ever. I never thought I'd be that popular. My phone was going off all the time. I'm like, Jiminy Christmas, I got a lot of followers or something. But again, players, let's give your parents a round of applause. The next thing I'm going to do real quick, I know she won't want to come up here. Stacy's hiding somewhere. Where you at, Stacy? You probably went all the way to the back. Close enough, you're in the middle of the back. But as she's coming up here, just the quarterback club, are you going to call these ladies out, or you're going to talk to them? But the one thing I want to talk about, those of you that are in this program that see the ins and outs of the golf tournament and how huge that is and what a fundraiser that is for us, the parents that show up and feed the kids on game days, the parents that deliver the meals to the school for pregame meals, you parents that make food on the weekends to feed these coaches because their boss is a jerk and makes them stay up here all day Saturday. The laundry crew, Megan's out there somewhere washing the C team, the JV, and the varsity uniforms. The tunnel crew showing up early to the game. Now, usually that's a pain in the rear end, but hey, the tunnel crew this year had an advantage, right? You got tickets to every game, so it's a plus. During the playoff run, the Chick-fil-A, the Smoothie Kings, the candy bars, the cookies, all those nice things, the decorating the locker rooms and all that comes to the quarterback club. So thank you for all that stuff you do. We appreciate it.
I was going to say. So, I just want to thank everybody for making it out today to celebrate the season that maybe started out that was in question. I know a lot of us went in front of the school district building and voiced our opinions and our frustrations with maybe how the season we thought was going to go, but here we are as the coaches, the managers, the players, the families, and our community all stuck together, and we did it. We are here at the end of the season with our banquet. So, yay for us, right? On behalf of the quarterback club, we'd like to extend many thanks to many individuals and families that lent a hand throughout the season. Like Coach was saying, we talk about laundry a lot, so if you lent a hand helping us do the laundry for each of the teams, thank you with that. The feeding the teams, the camp breakfast, those were early mornings for those of you that helped out with that, and that does not go unnoticed, nor does it go unappreciated, along with the special treats, the Saturday coaches' meals, and I went through, so I was just curious of the different activities and the events of either donations or volunteers that we helped with the program this year. And of those events, we had 193 volunteers. So I just want to extend that thank you to all of you, because a lot of what we do requires a lot of your help. So thank you with that. I am going to bring up the three others that are here with us today. I'm sorry, four. That is Jen Jeunesse. She was our senior rep. If you could come on up. Megan Lampert, she's our junior representative. Shannon Hinkle, our sophomore rep. And Carrie Snyder, she was our social media, I always try to think of a good title for that, but she was responsible for all of our posts and our updates and keeping all of us informed. Just wanted to say thank you for your endless support, your guidance throughout the season. It was extremely appreciated, and never, ever did it ever go unnoticed. And those meetings that we would have, emails, you would probably not even fathom the amount of emails that went back and forth, and or the text messages as a group. You know, if you're on a text message group, how many those can go through. Thousands and thousands. We took each day in stride. They have, for these kids and for the coaches and for us, we never took it for granted. We just celebrated everything that we could because we didn't know what tomorrow was going to, bring us. And having said that, we just appreciated every moment. So we just kept plugging along, and it made it for a little bit challenging times because we didn't know, if we were going to have a meal tomorrow, or if we didn't know if we were going to have a gathering. So a lot of it was last minute. So if that came across to you guys, we appreciate your patience and your grace as we work through all of that. Sorry. I have to keep running on all this. And then from the quarterback club and from our families, for the coaching staff, thank you. You guys are one of a kind. Without a doubt, your countless hours and your effort and your contributions to the season is so appreciated. You instill a work ethic that is second to none and treat our boys and our girls as if they were your own. We can't thank you enough for your leadership you give to the program and the memories you give to each of our families. In a year that has brought us a multitude of obstacles, you've overcome and you've conquered. And as a token of our appreciation, the football families have gathered together, and we've got gifts over here for you and your significant others. So on your way out today, would you please pick those up? To the players and the managers that are leaving us this year, thank you for your commitment, your hard work that you have given North Nation. And for those that are returning, we look forward to what is to come, and War Eagle.
Thank you all again. All right, now I'm going to introduce our coaching staff. Now that they've got everybody in here, not only are they awesome coaches, they're pretty good ushers, right? If anybody's having a wedding and they need to show up and see people, they can do that for you. A couple of them are single, so they may need to show up at a wedding and see some people. Coach Learman, I'll call your name, stand up please. Coach Learman's our DC. Charge of that Blue Swarm defense. Special teams coordinator, Coach Krause. Our head JV coach, in charge of our running backs is Coach Moore. Offensive line coach, Coach Llewellyn. Corners coach, Coach Helton. Yes. Tight ends, Coach Quick. Safety Nation, Coach Eslett. Defensive line, Coach Bowling. The second part of our Safety Nation coaches, Coach Gaspin. Coach Harris was unable to attend today, but he is one of, Coach Lou's got the best job around. He's got three assistants. That's how important the offensive line is here at North Nation. So we got Coach Harris, helps with the offensive line. Coach Newcomer, helps with the offensive line. And Coach Benner, helps with the offensive line. Wide receivers coach, Coach Halfbeard. Coach Half is also in charge of our C team, head coach of our C team also. Helps with the running backs also, it's Coach Broughton. All right, and then as you can see, these we didn't have the families come this year because we were trying to create room to make sure all of you got to bring your families. I thought that was a great move. All right, until today, I was informed by the true head coach, my wife, that this is the first time in 28 years she has not attended the sports banquet. So I don't think she was very happy with me. So I said, that's too bad, because with this mask on, it's going to be the best I've ever looked. I was trying to be funny, but I don't think she bought it. But again, just the sacrifices that these coaches made, trying to get through this football season. Again, some of the things that you may not even think of, but these young, some extremely young, very blessed too. I got 5 former players up here on this coaching staff. So one of two things, right? I'm either getting extremely old, or these guys really like me. I'm trying to figure that out. But the sacrifices they made this year to be able to do this, to coach your kids and do the right things. Not going out to eat with their families and dining in and doing those social distancing themselves. I think when we start talking about the things that we gave up this year, the players, the coaches, that's what made this thing so special, right? And we're going to talk about it later, but when this thing started, who'd ever thought we'd have made it all the way to the end, right? Not very many, because I'm like, we're going to be lucky if we get 4 games. Then we got to game 4, and it's like, we might get through this thing. So, again, just hats off to them, fellas, because I know, we're in the meetings, I get the looks, I know what the looks are, I get them from my wife. But when I'm asking them, you want to talk about sacrifice, I know I'm getting off topic here a little bit. I got a guy up here that played for me, I don't know which side Coach Ben, there he is. This young man played for me. He was on the first ever state championship team that I got to be the coach of. All right? Wasn't able to go to his wedding. And some of these other guys. So, again, when you start talking about sacrifices to make this year happen, it was special, right? So, yes, sacrifices. All right, real quick, we're going to jump into next year, and then we're going to get going with celebrations. But there's every one of you that's not sitting down here in this front, that's in the back. You already know that 2021 has started, right? These fellas know these games that we won during the season, it happened because of everything they did in the out-of-season training. So parents, minimum of 3 times a week, they need to be at before school or after school if they're not out for another sport. If they're out for basketball or if they're out for wrestling, they belong to those coaches. They're in another sport right now. The ones that are not need to be coming with us. And it is what it is, but we got over 150-something kids out right now on that list, grades 9 through 12. So the bottom line I'm going to tell you is you better be really, really good if you don't show up, because you're probably not going to play, because that's the point we're at in this program. As Coach Saban said, I don't know where Davis is at, but there you are. Davis's favorite team, bandwagon jumper. But anyhow, if you want to be good, people think you have choices. You don't have a choice. If you want to be good, there's certain things you got to do. There is no, well, I have a choice to go or not. No. If you want to be good, you got to be there. Blue Dawn training, hoorah, starts Wednesday morning. Okay? Even if you're out for another sport, you need to be there while we pick the platoons. As soon as the platoons are picked, you know which platoon you're on, you are released. The rest of us will venture outside to the stadium, and we're going to go to work. All right? So everyone needs to be there. You need to make sure you spread the word. Summer dead weeks. I've already sent those out. If you didn't get those, that means you're not on the email list. Email me, greg.jones, lps53.org. Say, Coach, please add me to the list. Because we're sending things out at least once a week about next year. If you're not getting them, you're missing things. And then these young men sitting in here will tell you, January to the end of July is the most important time for next season. If you think you're going to get to August and go, I'm serious about football, it's too late, right? January to the end of July, you got to make sure you're doing the right things, okay? Like we said last year, the one thing I can tell you is this. Coming in and working hard every day and busting your rear ends, that does not mean we're going to win. That does not mean you're going to go to the state semifinals. But I can promise you this, not doing it will guarantee you will not go. All right, so you got to understand that. This group here, hey, we've won 20 games, 20 in the last 2 years. Right? And the reason why is this. These players were part of a group, right? And some of you sitting up there contributed too, but they understood that winning and losing starts in January, it starts with working hard, it starts with doing the little things right on and off the field. Okay? Again, for the second year in a row, and I know it was different this year, but again, no one put an ISS during the school year. That's huge. My first year here, they thought it was a success if we didn't have anybody in ISS for a day. I'm like, no, that's not good. So again, the first 4-year group, and they've got this stuff figured out. This group understands, our players understand. We're not looking for superstars. We're looking for super teammates. We talk about it all the time in our leadership council. They understand. Some of the people that sat in here last year, they didn't make it to this thing this year. They made poor choices in the offseason, so they were eliminated. Okay? You got to do the right things on and off the field. And we will stick to those standards all the way through. Okay? We're extremely excited, just like we were last year, about everything we got coming back. But if you players think, as you probably already know, we're not letting up, right? As the exact William Davis will say, all gas, no brakes, because it's coming. All right? Some of you have already figured that out. So the intensity will keep rising. I'm extremely excited about Wednesday. Okay? I wouldn't tell you how many days there is before the next game, but I tweeted that out one time and Ms. Crunky got on to me. She said it was too soon. Too soon to start tweeting out about next year. All right? Speaking of which, I had a note on this. Hey, the two people we forgot, because how about those awesome pictures you got every week, right? That you got to download for free on Google? Miss Baxter, Miss Crunky, stand up real quick. Those are those sideline shots and those shots you got all the time. Don't write it down or we'll forget, right? So, again, thank you for that. All right, moving into the banquet. Starting back to last year. So, we're going to talk about how the season took off. We went down and we were rolling. We come out here in January, we get back, we get the off-season rolling with our weightlifting team. We went and dominated some meets. We go down to the state meet for the first time ever, and we win the state powerlifting championship. How about that? So the way that works is when you get down there, they have you broken down into 3 weight classes. You have the light weights, the middle weights, and the heavy weights. So you have 4 kids in each weight class that you can take their total, okay? So I'm going to call these names out. If you young men will stand up where you're at, because everybody blames COVID for everything right now, because these patches have been ordered forever. Your patches were supposed to be here for today. You do have patches coming, but the young men that were on the team that won the state, so you were the 12 that your points counted. Again, the lightweight classes have all graduated. In the middleweight, they're all here. Kate Norzolo, Nick Mcguire, Daniel Tran, and Grant Holmes. That's that standing. And then we have 1 heavyweight that is still here that hadn't graduated. And he also, not only did he help, his points were one of the top 4, he was the only individual male, we have 1 female, that won first, so he gets 2 patches because he'll be a state champ on the state powerlifting team, and then he was an individual state champ, Owen Lampert. Congratulations, man. The state meet is scheduled for March the 6th. We will continue to keep you posted on this. As always, we hate to use this word fluid, but with this, as of right now, the Springfield area is a lot more lax when it comes to COVID than the Kansas City area, so I do anticipate that meet happening. We will see if parents are allowed to go or not. So that is the first Saturday in March 6th. All right, football-wise, going to start with the Unconference teams. Now, we got to do things different. This year, we'll bring y'all up in shifts, okay? Usually, we bring y'all up here and flood the stage, but we got to come up. We got to do a good job of social distancing and staying spread out. So, all right, starting with the All-Conference. First team All-Conference. And let me call them up, then we'll get them up here, we'll give them a hand. All right, first team, Zach Willingham Davis, Will Angel, Connor Baxley, and Matthew Hudson. If you could come up, please. coaches give you your sheets. These are our 4 first-team all-conference honors. And again, like we said before, the thing we got to remember, this is our first year now being in the gold division, which is the toughest, in my opinion, the toughest football conference in the state of Missouri, where before our conference we had 6 teams in each one. Now we have 8 teams. And the number of people that can be all conference doesn't go up. So making all conference, not only are you in the toughest conference, you have more schools in it. So the odds of getting it are even greater. So again, congratulations to you young men. All right, our second team all-conference selections are Justice Braden, Tyler Janess, Nick Mcguire, Melvin Lassiter, and Braden Snyder. Tyler made second team all-conference as the athlete position and as a returner. We had a punt returner and a kickoff returner. No, that's because we got 5. It's not bad for a freshman, Melvin. Congratulations. Congratulations to our second team all-conference. All right, honorable mention, Joe Cronky, Davis Rockers, Caden Armstead, Braden Monahan, White Newcomer, Aiden Stigler, Aiden Anderson, Zane Giddings, Aaron Hinkle, M. Bollinger, and Blake Craig. That changed. You and Steve got the Mr. T starter kit going. I keep forgetting this mic's hot. Nobody knows who Mr. T is. That might be true. All right, congratulations to these fellas. There you go, JoJo. Take off, man. All right, moving to our Allstate, the Missouri Football Coaches Association Allstate team. We have 2 young men on the first team, Will Angel and Matthew Hudson. You two can stay there because we got 2. We got 2 more that made second team. Zach Willingham Davis and Connor Baxter. Congratulations to you fellas. All right, our all-district team. Starting with first team all-district. We got Zach Willingham Davis, Will Angel, Connor Baxley, Tyler Janess, Matthew Hudson. Congratulations, fellas. Second team All-District, Justice Braden, Nick Mcguire, Braden Snyder, Davis Rockers, Brody Monahan, and Blake Craig. Congratulations, fellas. And then the last one, the Football Coach Association All-State Academic Team, Will Angel, Nick Bugard, Matthew Hudson, Blake Craig, and Sam Van Dam. Congratulations to this group of young men. In case anybody's wondering, that's always the one that's kind of a question. The criteria for that, you got A, be a letter winner. B, you got to have a 3.5 GPA or higher. You got to be in the top 10% of your class, which you'd be amazed here at Liberty North High School because we don't have weighted grades. You better have a 4.0 to be in the top 10 by the time you're a senior. And then the ones that kind of hurt some of these young men is they didn't get that free ACT score or a test because we were under COVID lockdown, but you got to have 25 on the ACT. So you got to hit 3 out of 4 of those academic requirements on that. So those are kind of the requirements to be nominated for that. All right, moving into the letter winners and participation awards, part of the awards banquet, awards ceremony. Starting with the freshmen, since we had so many this year, we'll go through on our participation award winners with the freshmen. We have 2. We have Elijah Leonard and Mike and Joe Barnett. Mike, Joe, you be able to stay up here because of the freshmen. All right, freshmen receiving their first varsity letter. Fellas, when y'all come up, kind of come down this runway over here because when you come down, these coaches have a list of stuff they got to kind of hand you. Male Ambassador, Darius, I'm going to say this right today. Palmoni. Close, Darius? Yes. Okay. And Trey Snyder. Again, while those young men are coming up, Michael Joe is one of the young men that we brought up toward once the freshman season was over. Went down there and did a great job running scout team for the varsity. I think he made his day when he ran over Melvin. But Trey's another freshman that was up with us all year, did a great job. Is going to be a fantastic player, whether it be offense or defense. Darius is the young man that came in kind of late in the summer, and by the end of the year, he was starting on our defense. So our defense had a starting nose guard, and then Big Mel started every single game. Kind of got better as the year went on, but two freshmen right in the center of that defense. And if you want to take one step back behind, we had a sophomore behind 2 freshmen. So that defense went freshman, sophomore. So now you kind of get where the anxiety came from. But anyhow, this group here, they don't know what social distancing is because they don't know what 6 feet is yet. Michael Joe, 6 feet is how far Melvin misses you every time he tries to tackle you. That's what 6 feet is. All right, hey, give a round of applause for our friends. Thank you, fellas. You may be seated. All right, moving into the sophomores. Let's see, we're going to bring the letter winners up here first with the sophomores because we're going to have to bring them in shifts because of how many they are. All right, so again, fellas, please come down the outside towards the coaches. Blake Craig, second letter for Blake Craig. I guess I lied, Blake. That Coach Krause should have said something. You were a freshman last year too. But sometimes, hey, like I always say, teams don't realize they don't have a kicker until they don't have a kicker, right? That poor position is often overlooked. All right, receiving his first letter, Eric Hinkle, Josh Carter, Sam Van Dyne, Ted Mcguire, Jacob Stockton, and Justin Perkins. Again, we just saying a little bit about these young men. Obviously, Blake Craig, we're very blessed to have a returning kicker that got better this year. Going to have him back for 2 more. But you can just tell the growth of him in a year, being in the weight room and how far he can kick the ball. And not only, he really kind of understood football a little bit more this year because it was his second year to play. So when we yelled at him this year, at least he knew why we were yelling at him. Last year we yelled at him and he just stared at us like, why are you yelling? I don't understand what you're saying. Hinkle, again, like I was saying, was that sophomore that was back there at free safety, another young man that got better as the year went on. Again, excited to have him back for 2 more years. Big Josh is not here today because of the COVID situation deals, but he's a young man that rotated in a lot in nose guard for us. Sam is another sophomore, 6 feet. It's another sophomore that rotated again as the year went on, came up big for us down the stretch, rotated in and out. Like we talked about all year, this year was so much different than all other years. Just and the NFL and even the colleges are finding this out. Your number 2 or your number 3 guy better be as good as your number 1. Because I thought there for a minute, the team that I'm gonna get it here in a minute. Sean McVay, the Rams. The guy that was playing went down. It was here comes the third one. It was like he was going to go down, and you see like they started warming the receiver up. It's like people started understanding how important depth was this year. Tate Mcguire, another young man that's going to be great for us at receiver. Tate had an up and down year. He got to where he was getting to play, and then got injured. And then we get him back again, and then he comes into contact with COVID, and that'd be out for days in quarantine. So a bumpy year for him. Big stock, you can see him. He slimmed down a little bit. He's lost some weight for wrestling, but he's going to be another young man that's got a great future for us. And same thing with Big Percolator there, Big Perkins. There's going to be some young men that we lean on heavy next year. But these are our sophomore letter winners. All right, sophomore participation winners. And again, some of these will be, unfortunately, like I said, we got some kids in quarantine already from Christmas vacation. Kyle Doran, it's Kyle, big Kyle here. Jackson Duman, Kate Dorso, Dakota Hanna, Jack Mcmasters. I'm going to call their names so we can get them up here and then I can talk about them a little bit. Brandon Miller, Anakin, is that, yeah, Anakin's here. Schreiber is out. Sebastian Sylvie, Javon Smith, Nathan Sola, Bernard Sosawate, Colin Swaney, a.k.a. Cornbread, Trevor Thorne, as those young men come up again, those are young men, like we said, Hayden was a young man had up and down. He was one of our starters for the JV team. Broke his hand late in the season. Kyle was a young man that came in, was our backup kicker. Did some things, especially with kickoff, when Blake's back got hurt for a little while. Jackson Dumit's another young man that was kind of a two-way player for us for a while on JV, playing some safety, playing some running back, expecting great things out of him. Big Dorso, a linebacker, loves to hit. That's the big thing I'd say about him. The kid likes to fly around and hit people. Dakota Hannah's another one, kind of had a bumpy ride this year, right? Big guy with the COVID thing. Because he was doing great things at the JV level, then unfortunately, Grandpa passed away, had to travel out of state, then had to deal with some issues when he came back with quarantine. Jack Mcmaster, where's Jack? We have pretty hair he's got. There he is, up front, should have known. Hey, for that little kid, he's like dynamite. He loves to hit. Flies around and does some great things. Anakin is another young man that was a great teammate this year. Anakin started out as a JV quarterback, and then the C team got in a bind, and he had to bump down and play down there, and then come back up, play again at the JV level. So great teammate. Big Shriver's out right now, but again, another great JV offensive lineman that we're expecting great things out of next year. Sylvie, it's up here somewhere, right? There you are down there. Again, one of the young men that we're anticipating competing at that corner spot next year. Javon Smith, a young man that started out on the C team, and it didn't take him long, and he got to move up to the JV, had a great year for us, and caught the coach's eyes real quick. Nathan Solo, who's going to be a politician. This young man loves to give public speeches. In case you don't know about him, you want to speak? No, I don't want you to speak because you make me look bad. But great things from him. As you can tell, he's got slimmed down a little bit too. All these wrestlers are in the seat. There's one group that's happy that we didn't have food today. All the wrestlers. They didn't have to stare at everyone eating and them not get to eat. Big Bernard, where's Bernard's here? Bernard is another young man that just came on this season. Hopefully Bernard don't mind me sharing, but we kind of had to be on Bernard last year, chase him down in the off season a little bit, and get him here. But once we got him here, he got him